セッコ、しっかりと取れただろうな。今の奴らの生命にしがみつく必死の競争を。おーよーしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよしよし、大したやつだセッコ、お前は。Give me all the
ダブルシャイン
and get with this money!
Shiller'z corner
今日からは裸の自分を取り戻す。生命繊維の脅威と戦う裸の戦士たち。その間、鍵穴に目を近づけるのはいけないことでしょうか。
Nice!
Shiller'z corner
This is Shiller'z Corner. You're tuning in right now. I'm the king of money, and I'm rich as fuck. Yeah. So it turns out Streamlabs likes to take a big old shit whenever it wants. So kind of lost the first 5 minutes of this interview, but fuck it. I'm going to read what Double Shine, our next guest on Shiller'z Corner, what he said, and I'm just going to kind of roll off some whatevers. Whatever he is. What does he do? So this is what he does. Streaming on Twitch. He does YouTube videos, politics, drama, economics, philosophy, and culture wars. He does some other shit. His dick's 17 inches long, and he's 10 feet tall. So get on that, ladies. Or men. And here's where the video left off, because I fucked it up somehow. Enjoy. It should be good. We'll hope. We'll hope for the best. Well, I have your other stuff up here too. What is it? Your Twitter. So people
Yeah,
can find you here.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Double Shine TV. I shit post there a lot, so you should pretty much like 50-50. Everything I post there is like half serious. Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
As
That's
all
perfect.
Twitter is, though, really.
And just in case, if this did fucking break, this is Shiller'z Corner. We have Double Shine here, and he is showing all his stuff that he has. Okay, all right. Just in case. And here's your YouTube. Do you upload a lot on YouTube, or is it mostly Twitch?
Honestly, I think I go through phases where sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to do some YouTube videos. Right now, I think I have like 3 or 4 things that are like kind of backlogged. Honestly, hopefully I get those put out sometime. It really just kind of depends on like what my mood is. Although I try to do both. I try to balance it. I think it's like a good way of building your platform and growing, and also just like I think one of the most important things for me is I really like YouTube as a way to sort of archive all of my streams and all the content I make. That way, when I'm like 50 or 60, I can look back at this, and at the very least I'll have a good laugh about what I've done.
Yeah. And Twitch has it set up like you could just easily like clip, right? Like
Yeah, you can. I mean, I think it saves your highlights for or saves your VODs for, I want to say 2 months.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
And then you can just download it. Pretty simple. You just have to be on top of it.
Do you want to show your TikTok, or are you still using it, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my TikTok is it's just something I do every now and then. Every now and then I'll drop a banger, but it's not.
This had me dying.
It's more like another platform for me to use. It's not really something I'm like particularly invested in. But TikTok's really cool. I think it's really fun. I just maybe I'm not in touch yet. Also, that like, man, when I go on TikTok, it's like my brain. I get the TikTok brain. I'm just like I'm on that shit like 10 hours a day. It's bad for me.
No, it's good. It's good. You wanna be addicted to it.
Yeah.
You're putting out stuff, so that's all. Honestly, that's all that matters and stuff. But this right here, you fucks, right here, this is the place where you want to go. Fucking his Twitch. Watch all that shit that he puts out. All right. Now I'm gonna make you big. Maybe I'll All right, we can do that. All right, now you're above me, so you're above the king
Great.
of money. So
All right.
that
Sign
is
me up.
pretty. Now let me get, since I am disorganized as usual. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, so for me, as far as like streaming and content creation goes, I think I've always had some inclination to do this. When I was like in high school or middle school, when streaming was
Mm-hmm.
first kind of, even taking off as like a thing, I really liked watching streamers.
Yeah.
I always wanted to like kind of go into some kind of gaming or to do streaming myself. I thought that was really interesting. And then somewhere around college, I kind of, I was pursuing a degree in economics, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
really decent degree. I mean, you could do a lot with it, but I never felt like I had a good passion of what I actually wanted to do with that degree. I felt like I was kind of a dog chasing a car, and like I wouldn't know what to do if I actually. Wait, why am I like, what am I even doing here? So I decided to take some time off and
Mhm.
basically try to, find myself, try to do content creation more full time. And so, I've worked some side jobs on the side, but really it's kind of been this kind of like finding myself, and in that finding a passion for content creation. It's definitely been a difficult challenge for me at times, just because it takes like a lot of consistency, which I don't always have. But recently, and especially in the last couple of months, I think I've like kind of settled that this is the thing I want to do full time, and
Thank God,
keep
man.
making, yeah, like keep making YouTube videos, keep streaming. And I
Mhm.
think ultimately one of the coolest things about that is, even if it never takes off, I don't think I'm going to become like the next XQC or anything like that, but I think it's going to give me skills
Yeah.
in case I think like one of the coolest things that people don't really talk about is like we're seeing more streamers start to go into other forms of media, whether that be um, kind of acting or voice
Oh, that's
acting,
cool.
things like
Yeah.
that, right? So I think that even if I don't like make it big, I'll still learn all these skills that I think could possibly be implemented to a future in some other form of like media or entertainment.
This is basically a giant resume portfolio that you're building.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, it's
absolutely,
huge.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's that's kind of how I see it, right? Because like again, I don't. Hey, listen, 20 years from now, I don't know if I'm gonna want to stream, but I think the skills that I learn along the way are probably more important to me than anything else.
No, no, dude, it's perfect. And I said it in my last interview, but it's kind of the same reason I'm doing this. Like, right now, mine is mostly silver, gold, and dystopia focused. So, like, I only make meme videos about silver and about the economy getting destroyed and stuff like that. You see the dirty walls. I just wipe my honey mustard on the walls whenever I can, and then I am the king of money, but I'm broke as fuck. So so it doesn't
Hey,
really
we're
matter.
all we're all kings of money, but broke as fuck. Oh, if I could add one more thing. Okay, I promise this is the last simpy thing I'm gonna say, and then
No,
I'll
no,
be
do it,
more of a
do it,
memer, okay?
do it.
I think one thing that really made me excited about content creation
Mhm.
is, and especially like starting off, right, is I think I had this moment of like realization that like even if there's one person watching me, that makes me feel so blessed that like I even have one person who's like taking the time out of their day to like watch my content. Like I don't know, to me that's just crazy. All right, there's some random
Dude,
person on the internet who's taking the time to say your video sucks when they hate watch me. That's fucking awesome. I'm sorry. Oh, I
that's
don't know.
even.
Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Oh,
Or good?
I've been cussing nonstop.
Okay, just checking. I just want to check. I was like, I don't know how much editing work you're gonna have to do.
No, zero, zero.
Great, fantastic. Okay,
No, but no, I feel that, man. Like, I have no idea how I have. I mean, I've been pretty, I guess, lucky because all I did was stalk a whole bunch of the YouTubers that I watch all the time, and I just started making videos and putting their faces on them. And, and like I was just making all these random meme videos, and Rob Keens, Chris Marcus, and then I do things with Jerome Powell, like make him look like an Aldrich god that's like consuming everything, and like stupid shit like that. And Wall Street Silver, and like the fact that anyone's watched it, I'm like, this is retarded. This is horrible. Like, why is anyone watching this? But like, people like it, and I want to try to show people like why silver is important, just in general, at least from a money aspect. Like, we look at our economy right now, and we look at inflation, purchasing power. It's all going down the drain.
yeah, no
It's
one even talks about silver. Honestly, it's like
I
I think that
I
I
who
I,
talks about it?
yeah,
Like, no,
no one.
no one
All right,
talks about it, man. And like the age group, I'm 30. Wait, what am I? I'm 36. I'm 36 years old and
You,
stuff.
you
So
start
like,
forgetting after 30.
yeah,
You
yeah.
start
You
getting
just,
losing count.
you
Fine.
try to decrease the number as you get over 30. But like, I mean, the average, person watching anything about silver or gold, they're all over 45, 55. So it's like getting any younger people into it or to even discuss it, it's like impossible. But I don't want to keep talking about my bullshit. I want to talk about your bullshit. So this is the next. This is kind of. I think you kind of talked about it a little bit, but what do you want in life financially from either
Oh,
this or like just in general? Like, what's the goal? What's the dream? The utopia?
yeah. Oh man, when I was a kid, this has been okay. I've had this goal for a while. Okay, I wanted to make 6 figures a year before I was
Ooh.
25. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm 24 right now, and
Oh.
we are not quite there. Okay, I'll tell you that. So that has been scrapped. We are pushing it back for a little bit. But no, I think the last kind of like year or so when I tried doing I kind of like moved out, got my own place and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and I tried to live like a really modest life. And I
Yeah.
think I
Yeah.
realized that like I'm okay living like a modest life if that means that I can kind of pursue something that I really enjoy.
Oh, of course,
As a
man. Yeah.
yeah, and also one of the things that like was like a really like crazy moment for me was one of my friends actually.
Mhm.
He and his fiance they actually bought a van, right? And they started living in that
Oh,
van
that's
while he
amazing.
yeah, and they would just travel across the country like whenever they want and stuff like that. And like they were willing to sort of take the negatives of living that kind of
Yeah.
lifestyle, sort of pursue their own like passion in life.
Just
And
their dream.
yeah, and seeing someone living out of a van who feels happier and more fulfilled than my friends living in high-rise San Francisco apartments, I was like
That's amazing.
yeah, I mean,
But
it's just
it
crazy,
blows
it's
your
insane, like
mind. It blows
mind,
your mind
yeah,
when you see it.
and
Because,
like
but that's what.
listen, I'm
So that's what you want, the modest life, but you want the
okay. Wait,
basic shit. Do you,
let's okay.
or do you want me to put
Let's
you in a
be very
cell
clear.
in Amazon,
I
or like?
I am an ultra capitalist. I
Okay,
love
okay,
money,
good, good,
okay?
good.
I want to live in my mansion. I want to have a fast car. I want all that stuff, okay? I want nice clothes.
Yep,
That stuff's all
yep.
really cool too. But
Cool, cool.
I think more than anything, I want to get to a point in my life where I think that my passion is
Hmm.
my job and that is
Yes,
providing me enough
yes.
income. And I think like once if I can achieve that, it feels like it's like I found the holy grail. Like my life is now I can do anything I want. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Like any money I make from now on, I can just spend on whatever I want. I don't even have to
That's
like I don't. It's so awesome.
that's the best feeling when you have enough cash in your bank account where you're just driving around and you're like, oh, I want to get that. And
Yeah,
you don't think about, oh, should I get that? Is that enough? Or is that gonna break the electric bill this month? Or like when you have that option and that freedom, but you're right, when you're doing what you love, I mean, it's almost impossible to find. I mean, when you get it though, you have to stick with it. Like you just keep
yeah,
doing it.
exactly. And I think so many people never like took the time to actually think about that and like what it is they want. But I have like
Mhm.
have a good feeling that I have found it now. So it's like addicting now just to think about like oh my god, like if this was my full-time job and I didn't have to like go work other stuff, like it would feel so complete for me, I guess.
Well, I do love that dream. I think it's awesome because I also want that. I want a giant like cult maybe or a whole bunch of land and houses and real life hentai just kind of floating around everywhere. So I think that's pretty cool. But
Yeah, I wanted to say that there's probably hookers at the mansion too, but I don't know if I want to go that far yet.
we'll get there. We'll get there. We don't need to push it right off the bat. But yeah, I love that dream and if this hopefully in the future, like whenever if I can actually get a little bit bigger, I'm totally down with you coming back on and shilling nonstop. Whatever updates you got, whatever it is, I'll retweet whenever you fucking put something up there, just in hopes that even if I can't achieve my dream of which is doing some form of this or this, then to hopefully help someone else achieve it, and then I can be like, oh, at least one guy got it. Like that's pretty cool. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And let's look at the next question. So what? Oh, okay. So what are the strategies? So we know you're doing Twitch. We know you have your donations. Are you using stocks? Are you using cryptos? Are you trading? Are you flipping houses? What are you doing? What are you doing for this?
Sure. So I think like, oh man, I listen, crypto, not my game. Okay, I need to watch a couple more videos. I have not made money
Just
on
get
crypto.
Doge.
We are a little bit in the red. Okay. um. Anyways, so for me, I think like the biggest strategies was just it was kind of like two big things. Like one, I think
Mhm.
just really like not spending a lot. Like I think a lot of people don't realize that like you can find a pretty small apartment and like you don't need
It's
all
true.
the things that like you probably had like growing up at your home and stuff like that. So that was
That's
like a
good.
pretty
So
big
you're
thing.
saving there. That's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really good.
and like my food bill, it's like it's not probably not as high as like a lot of people. Yeah, and
Hmm.
I just things like that, just like cutting costs in general has just been like a really good
Okay.
thing for me because um I'd rather like be super frugal now, almost to a point of insanity, and then just
This is-
not have to like struggle as much. Um, so I think that's like the biggest thing. Um, Otherwise, like, listen, I'm gonna say it like I've especially like over COVID and whatnot. Um, Welfare programs are pretty damn sick. So I'm just like,
Oh
I think
yeah,
a lot of
I'll.
people are probably too shamed to like actually go and take them. But like, hey, if you're in that condition, fucking go for it. Trust me, it's gonna help you a lot. Like, apply for it. It's gonna seriously help.
I have no shame in that. I'll get every
Yeah.
fucking stimmy that comes my way. I don't care what it is. I applied for food stamps. I was like, I think I work for it, and I'm like, oh, I can't get it. They use VA disability as income. But oh well. But I'll apply for everything. I don't care because like with the way inflation is right now, it's impossible to like really get ahead. So if you want to get ahead, like you have to keep throwing money into riskier and riskier shit. And that's kind of because of the Federal Reserve just doing money printing nonstop. So like, I mean, we can't have a savings account. You can't put your money in the savings account. It doesn't give you anything. Like I think in it was either in the 40s or the 30s, the savings rate was like it was anywhere from 4 to 12% that you would just keep your money in the bank. You're gonna get that much back. So like a savings account was real. Like you could actually throw spare money in there and make money. But now we have no choice. Like you have to throw it into Doge. You have to throw it into all these risky classes and like or just invested in real estate and just see what's happening with it. But it's we're out of options. Like it's either YOLO or or stay with the same amount of money that you have in your account, and inflation's eating it at 6 or 10% a year. So it's like you're kind of losing money as it's in the bank account. But also, oh, do you have a Patreon?
I
Uh,
don't have a Patreon. No, I just do
okay,
everything through like my Twitch, I guess. Like you can
okay.
sub or donate. Oh, can I actually just thought of something else that I do. So I actually started a new program that I think is like
Oh,
pretty damn cool. But what I do is I do basically a buy one get one every time
mhm.
someone subs to me. So
Oh,
every
cool.
time they sub to me, I then gift a sub to another person. That way,
That's sick.
essentially, if you do the math, I end up going like net
Net
like
positive or
yeah,
net even
no
maybe
no
or
I go equal. So
oh
I go
okay,
equal,
okay.
which is pretty cool. But the tiny amount of money that I'd be making from my subs and whatnot, I'd
Mhm.
rather like reinvest that and also give people kind of like more incentive and at least they feel kind of good. Like, oh, if
Yeah.
I sub, that means someone else is gonna also get a sub. It's just it kind of like helps grow the community, and I think it also is like it's sort of like a promise to my community that like I'm not really here for money. I'm here to like
Yeah.
grow and put it back, right? Like
Yeah,
I
to
don't want to
give
get rich
back.
off this. I'd much rather
But
help
it's
grow
okay
what we
if you
already have.
do.
Oh, absolutely. But
It's
hey, when it gets
okay.
when we're past the like break point, then yeah, I'm taking all of it. All right, I'm taking all of it and running.
When you see me under the bridge in like a few years,
You know,
stop by and like throw your trash out of the car at me so I can eat it. That's all I
I'll bring
want.
my shower curtain in case you need a new one.
Oh, I definitely will. This one this is already getting tattered up. So, um, all right. Well, yeah. That I think those are good strategies and stuff. And if you ever want to play around with stocks or play around with different things, I think the best play right now is probably energy stocks and then the silver and commodity stocks because those are the only things that aren't in a bubble. So like if you're gonna do the contrarian Austrian play of of looking at economics and gambling, because all investing is basically gambling and stuff for the most part, then I would say to look into those. Like, we don't need to go into names or any of that shit, because like we could spend 4 hours talking about that shit. But
Yeah,
yeah.
and by the way, I think all that stuff's like super cool. I wish I could invest in it more and stuff. I think just like right now, like I just don't have like a stable enough income where I feel like
Oh yeah,
particularly
dude,
good
I
about putting it
understand.
into like a stock, right? Because you're just it is kind of gambling at some extent,
It's
and also
gambling.
there's always like that fear of like you never really want to like take out your money when you're in the red because that's like bad from what
It's
I understand,
scary.
you know.
Scary.
Yeah, it's like not a good thing. So I never want to be like stuck in the red.
I'm pretty ride or die. Like, a lot of my stuff's
Sure.
in, 40% negative on something, because I bought at the top of the gold market,
Hmm.
but then I have stuff that's 200% up. So it's like it just, they all balance out. But mining stocks and uranium and uranium, but energy stocks in general, they're like cryptos. The amount of people that are in them, it's so low and illiquid that someone puts like $50,000 into it, and it just moves it up or down like a crazy number. So like, you see all reds and greens all the time all week. So it's a little weird, but yeah, right now the main focus should be, as long whoever's watching your channel on Twitch, give him a dono to show him that it's awesome that he's doing it. So keep donating shamelessly and endlessly until
I
you're
will
out of
very much
money.
appreciate it. Oh, also, if you donate more than $20, you get to choose my dinner of the day. Okay, that's another little shameless plug I got there.
Uh, could I suggest a pay less shoe?
Oh
If
man, what
I
do you mean by that?
like, just a shoe, just can you see like a
Oh God,
shoe?
listen, I don't listen. I don't. Has to be edible, okay? By my
Oh, okay,
standards,
okay, okay.
you get a multiple choice.
Because you could have got some weird shit if we didn't
Yeah,
specify that. All right, so next question is, did lockdowns change your mindset about careers going forward?
yeah, actually, I think that I don't know if it necessarily like changed my mindset. I think it just
Hmm.
reaffirmed what I already had. One of the cool things we saw during lockdowns was like an explosion of growth among these online platforms like YouTube and
Oh
Twitch.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, I've seen even like friends of mine that have just skyrocketed their careers,
yeah.
uh, just because they had more time and nobody's going out. Nobody has like football games and whatnot to watch, so they're just engaging more online. And seeing that growth, I definitely had that moment of like, ah, damn, why didn't I do that? Like when it started, why wasn't I there at the beginning? But I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I think that like these platforms are only going to continue to grow, especially among like an older population too. Right now, it's
Hmm.
mainly I think like 20 to 30-year-olds and younger kids as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But
I
I think
might
that
be
like
an anomaly in this.
well, yeah,
Like,
yeah, but I mean, and that's the interesting thing, right? Is you are an anomaly, but
yeah.
like I think as older people come into the platform, I think they're going to be looking for someone like yourself. They're not going to want to watch like someone
Mm.
playing Fortnite, right? So
Oh, true, true. I mean, mine is chaos. So like, I'm gonna be doing segments and stuff later, like anti-work Fridays and shit like that, and see what I could get down and stuff. But no, I was black pilled way before lockdown. So like, with economies, with the economy and work in general. So I I love what you're doing, and seeing people like you do stuff like this, because I can see the passion, and you're fast as fuck when you're giving out info and stuff, and it's amazing to see. And I'm like, I want to support that while I can right now. So in any way we can keep our dream jobs going. Let's let it roll. Now let me shit. Mouse disappeared. Okay, here we go. What is the worst job you have done? Now, past, present, or future. So, what do you see the worst job probably
Whew.
being, or the worst you just already had the worst job, and that's the one?
Oh man, this is so hard. I think probably I think the worst job I ever had was working at a call center. Um,
Oh, that's good. That's a good
man, that
one.
was oh man, that was some other level. Like, I don't think I've quite worked retail. I worked it like a little bit,
Hmm.
but man, I think working at the call center made me just realize like people don't actually call because they care. Like they're not trying to get their stuff fixed. I think 99% of the time they just want someone to like vent to, you know? Like they'll call me and they'll be like, "Hey, I have this problem. Also, you know, my kids, they're just not listening to me and they're just screaming at me." I'm like, "Oh my god, like we're about like it's like, oh, thank you. I understand, you know."
It's therapy,
but
free therapy.
yeah, honestly, I mean, that's what it felt like sometimes. Like sometimes they would actually get mad at me for staying calm. They'd be like, "Why aren't you like yelling?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just here to like listen to you. Okay, I don't care what you're saying. None of this matters to me."
You're like, I'm making $11 right now, like an hour.
Like, seriously,
Like,
and that's the sad. I think one of the worst things for me too is like, honestly, I was pretty good at it because I think I'm like a pretty decent communicator, right? And like, you know, I think I'm like okay at talking to people and stuff like that. And they like offered me a promotion. They gave me like $1 extra, and I was like, okay, are you serious? Like, wait, what? Like, wait, what do you mean you're gonna give me $1 extra as a promotion? Like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, I'm not going anywhere with this job.
they did that to my wife when she was working at Whole Foods, and the manager got mad at her because he was like, everyone's getting a 75-cent raise, and she's like, okay, and like she just walked away, and he's like, whoa, why aren't you like happy about that? She's like 75 cents. Like I don't give a fuck. That's nothing.
It's like, I mean, that's nothing, right? Especially if you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Horrible. That's a good terrible job though. I can see that. I can see us all at some point. If we don't make this work, then we're all gonna be probably in an Amazon like living tube, working virtually like in the Matrix in the metaverse as Amazon employees in VR. But we're gonna be in their factory somewhere, possibly. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I'm waiting till they can just like plug us in and we just like convert our time into money, you know? You just download and I just get my 8 hours of my life gone and like some mindless drone shit, and then I can just spend the rest of my day. That's kind of how I feel about a job, honestly. I don't come to these like I don't come to these like minimum wage jobs like expecting any kind of satisfaction. Just get my dough, get the fuck out and go do the stuff I actually like doing.
Well, and for me, since I am married and stuff, and we want house, we want all the basic shit, but like I'm not gonna go to work unless I'm making $30 an hour minimum. So like if that's the case, if I can't find that, then I'm just gonna work at a dildo factory like Bad Dragon because it's gonna be like right across the street. I'm just gonna work there. I'll make the same amount that I would at Amazon or a gas station, but at least I get to make really cool dildos all day. So that's pretty cool.
Hopefully the promotions there are a little more rewarding, huh?
You got product testing free.
Yeah.
I think you did say this one. This is the political streamer question. Just what side are you on? What do you?
Yeah. So honestly, I think that in recent times, what side you're on kind of depends on who's actually asking. So I
know nothing
consider...
about politics. I know zero
no
about it.
Listen, I'm just saying, people on the left probably hate me. People on the right probably hate me. 5 years ago, I probably hated myself too. Okay, I consider myself a social democrat.
Okay,
so it's a soc dem. Basically, the idea behind that is I advocate for, I still like capitalism. Freaking love capitalism. I'm not, not quite on the socialism train just yet.
We'll get there.
Probably.
We'll
No,
get
no,
there.
I don't think so. It's gonna take a lot. Okay? You have to put some big money behind me.
Yeah.
before I go down that route.
Oh yeah. But you'll sell out, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I also advocate for broader social policies such as like. God, I'm like wealth, like basically like attacking things like wealth inequality,
of
medical,
course, yeah,
Medicare for all, things like that. Not necessarily I like the public option too. So, and then also I just like things in general that like help everyone across society do better. There's been interesting talks about like UBI. That's something that I really enjoy as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like broader policy. Basically, I like capitalism, but I think that it's on the government to do certain things to make everyone in society better. And in doing so, we kind of bring up the average, and that just makes a better society to live as a whole.
I didn't write this down prior, but just off the top of your head, if you could think of anything, is there any government doing it the way you would like to see it done? Is there any other country doing it? Like, is
Um,
this country doing it, or like, is there any
yeah.
spot?
So some of the, I think like some of the closest ones we see, there's not like a country that's doing it perfectly,
Yeah,
obviously.
obvious. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I want to say that I think the United States is kind of moving in that direction where we are
Hmm.
seeing, there are like different policies to help society. Usually the Nordic countries, Sweden, Finland, and
Yeah, yeah. Those
Norway,
usually
those
come
are
up.
pretty good example. I know some people like to call them socialist countries. They're not quite socialist, probably
Hmm.
closer to social democrat.
Hmm.
But yeah, they have a lot of like policies that make it so that as a broader thing, like people are, it's not, there's not as much like wealth inequality as there is in other side like the U.S. I think the U.S. does have a bit of a wealth inequality problem that needs to be
Oh
addressed.
man, if I show you the charts of the what is like the bottom 90% or under the 50% now, and like the top 1% own like 30% of like everything now. It's some crazy number now, just from just the past two stimulus packages, which I'm in favor for because people needed it. It's just that, I mean, it's a giant dumpster fire with a lot of way everything's going right now. But this one should be good. You could talk about the panel you just did or anything else, but what is the hot goss in your community right now? Like,
Oh man, there's so much.
there's a lot of
I don't
hot
want to.
goss. Just choose
I
one
don't
you
want to. I
really
want to
like. That's
talk
it.
about to get canceled about. Jeez.
Oh no, I'll get canceled, so it doesn't
Cool, cool,
matter.
cool.
so,
Yeah,
so
no,
it doesn't matter.
seriously. I think one of the biggest things that I have God, I gotta say, I got. Sorry, give me like 1 second. I gotta be very. Um, sure, yeah. So one of the biggest things that we saw lately, I think, that was probably the most contentious topic was the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Um,
Yes.
now I
I
don't
heard
really
a
want to
thing
go.
or two.
Yeah, you probably have. No, I don't want to like go too much into that,
No,
but I
no, you
think
don't have
one
to go
thing.
into it. Just what
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah.
what was that all that dominated the community for like basically
Um,
weeks, days, or
I would say for like almost a week that was a pretty hot contentious topic on like Twitch politics and stuff like that. And one thing
Mhm.
it really showed to me, and this is a kind of unfortunate reality, is that I think a lot of people really have um they kind of play team politics where they like to pick a side
Oh, it's the
and
worst.
then they sort of like
It's the worst.
they kind of buy into that narrative no matter what. They're not really trying to come down and find sort of like a truth of the matter or what's right or wrong. They just have an
Yeah.
idea and they sort of work their way from like they kind of work their way back and then make inferences about the facts to support their conclusion. Um,
I
and
can
this happens on both sides.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone loves getting on a team. And I look at it probably more even conspiratorial or just more black belt in general. I look at it like we have two sides fighting over two people over 60 years old, and most of the people fighting each other are all poor, but all the rich people are just chilling in the back. Like they don't even care what side they're on because they're rich and they can make their own rules. And but we're all fighting each other and we're all distracted by whatever else is going on in the world. And like it's hard to see it, but I mean, but these discussions are important, like people need to talk about this stuff. But just blindly following a team just because everyone else is running on it, like you should be able to dissect your own argument too, to some extent.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely. And I wish people like I'm not trying to say that everyone has to be an enlightened centrist. Okay, that was me 5 years ago, and it was very cringe. Okay, but I just wish that people were a little bit more honest when they talk about stuff, and that like just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're like evil or bad. They're just probably coming from a different mindset or a different framework or a different objective in life, and we have to be, I think, a little bit more accepting of that because right now I think that it's so polarized where the both sides are not really willing to like talk to each other and find any common ground.
no, it makes a lot of sense, man. Like, and honestly, I think it's gonna get worse, not better, as
Yeah,
time goes
we'll
on.
see. We'll see. I'm trying to stay optimistic. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Okay. What are your master strats to survive the political and economic apocalypse that's piling towards us like every day?
Yeah, Yeah. So
That's what I think. I think
I
everything's gonna be
listen.
Mad Max in like fucking 2 weeks or something.
All right, I don't think the apocalypse is coming, but I'll engage in it, okay? Because it might. All right,
It
it
might.
might.
I don't know.
I don't think economical, but I think certainly political. We may have. Okay, we may.
Mm.
I don't know. Okay. And I think the biggest thing is like I'm in a pretty like decent privileged state where, I come from like a decent wealthy family. I'm not
Good.
poverty.
Good.
I don't really have any like characteristics like race or um my gender identity that might deeply impact me in case of like an apocalypse. Like,
Yep.
listen, I'm a
Yep.
cis white guy, okay? I'm pretty fucking average as far as it goes. All right, I'm gonna be doing okay. And also I've had like kind of the privilege of like having a pretty good education. I don't think I'm like super smart, but I,
Oh, I'm
I,
dumb
I
as
had a pretty
fuck,
good
dude.
education.
I don't know anything. Like
Yeah,
all,
like I
all
think
I do
like
is watch Zero Hedge all day and like watch the economy like just kind of fall apart.
yeah, like at the end of the day, I think I'll probably be okay. I don't really have anything like super crazy that I'm thinking about. Probably won't be able to be online quite as much in case of an apocalypse, but for the most part, it's not really something I'm all that worried about on a personal level. Just because I don't think that any kind of like apocalypse is gonna like affect me in like a terrible way.
Now, like, so basically, like, what I've been telling people to do is to like basically make a bug out bag. Like, it doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't need to. You don't need to have like the caravan like chilling in the back or something. Like, just have like a bag with some cash in it, some food, some water, uh, some gold, silver, if possible, and
Jeez, man,
just
what a
random.
camping trip.
Well, yeah, I mean, you basically like if you could say like, all right, I'm gonna be fucked for like the next 4 weeks. There's not gonna be any water or any electricity. What do I do? What do I need for that to survive at the bare minimum? Do I need to barter with it? Do I probably not because someone will probably just shoot you. So if you try to barter, but like basically what you need. So you just think about that. Like whatever you would need for 4 weeks, possibly maybe 2 weeks. And you just do what you can. Like if you could just pull out some cash and like just have that's cool, you know. Because when lockdowns happened here, every single ATM that was around my house all wiped out. You couldn't get any cash out of them. So imagine if there was a credit freeze and they had to turn off all debit cards and all credit cards for a few days. Like that would have been chaos everywhere. So anything you could do to set yourself up just to protect you and then like people, people around you too and stuff that you care about, then I think that's at least a good like paranoid plan to have just in case. But yeah, I think there was another issue with some of that. Oh, we could get into actually with this. Next question: the World Economic Forum, the Federal Reserve, and the Green Tech Wave. Do you know what any of these are, or give a fuck about any of these?
I don't know. I don't really care that much. Federal Reserve is pretty cool.
Oh no! Don't tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't think
Oh
there's anything wrong
no!
with it necessarily.
Oh no!
I could be sold either way. All right, convince me where I'm wrong here. World
Well,
Economic Forum sounds pretty cool, but I don't think it's what I think it is.
how many
I don't think
bugs?
it's an actual online forum, huh?
How many bugs do you want to eat? We could go
Oh,
down.
man, we could
Go down
this
those.
road.
I don't care how many bugs I have to eat if they give me a UBI. So I'll be like, hey, give me all the bugs. Like you're gonna give me like $3,000 a month. All right, that's cool. I'll eat some bugs. So okay, so I'll focus on Federal Reserve. So this is kind of the. Can you see this okay? Or is
What
this?
am I looking at?
Oh wait, is this too small? Or let me
Oh
see.
yeah, let's look at it. All right.
So 71. So we could give the dollar and the Fed benefit of the doubt. We could start here, right around 71,
Mhm.
when we got off the gold standard. And I mean, it's just a fucking straight down line, dude. Look at the purchasing power. There's purchasing power calculators you can use too, where like, our I guess our parents would be considered, they'd be probably considered boomers, maybe Gen X. I'm not sure. Like probably around there, right? Like they tell stories like, "Hey, remember we paid for our college with a part-time job, like working at the market, and like you could back then. You could back then because the purchasing power was so high, and there weren't these perversions in the Federal Reserve with the Federal Reserve that were created. So it's kind of like with student debt. Like I have 100K in student debt. So like finishing my masters and stuff, and like school didn't used to cost that much until they created the ability for you to get FAFSA. So like
listen. I'm happy to argue about student debt. I don't think we need to wipe it out. As a policy, I do not support. All right, I know it'll make a lot of people mad, but I don't think we should wipe it out.
I think that is the ultimate goal. Like there's no choice. Like they have to, man. Like either that or no one's gonna pay it, and then it's just there anyway. So like I think that's probably our best case. So hopefully they do that. I'll show you this real quick. Little tiny little game. Which can you see that? Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. What thing on here increased the most per cost? So like in percentage wise, these are all percents. What do you think on there? It surprised me when I looked at it because I was like, damn, really?
Yeah, man.
It might not.
Sucks
It might
'cause
not surprise
I
you.
don't purchase like half of these things, so it sucks right now because I think this might be unfair. I want to say gasoline.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Do you have one more just in case?
One more. Oh man, if I could do one more.
Your top two high
Yeah,
ones.
top two. Oh god.
For us, gas seems like easy. It's California.
Yeah,
so.
gas is really easy. That's why I want to give one
Yeah.
more. But like, especially because gas is so freaking expensive right now, so it almost feels like cheating. I almost want to say is it bacon?
Oh, bacon's a good one. All right, let's see. Drum
Yeah.
roll. Blah, 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 blah. Bam. Boop,
Oh,
boop.
interesting. Oh man, vehicle rentals was my third, but I wasn't sure because I thought vehicles might because there's so many like vehicle rental systems now that I wasn't sure. But okay, yeah, gasoline for sure. That makes sense. Okay, bacon's at least decent. All right, not bad. This is pretty interesting. Pretty good stuff.
How worried are you seeing these numbers? Because this terrifies me. This terrifies me very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to. It's a 12-month change. Oh shit, that's actually pretty rough. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I think that like if I went to go into like more policy and like how terrifying inflation is right now, it's really like I would have to probably do a little more research. I think that right now the economy is kind of in shambles due to the coronavirus pandemic, which has been, I mean, it's like it's really hard to say necessarily like where to draw the line of like what's causing that and what's just other factors at play. Personally, though, I think that like stabilizing the coronavirus epidemic and just making sure that like the economy can kind of like go back to normal. I think that's probably the first step. I think it's going to be really hard to ever try to get a stable economy if we're seeing these like massive spikes in cases like we did in summer.
Do you me and my wife used to play this game where we drive around Pasadena and LA and stuff, like Sunset and all that. We used to play like, let's see how many businesses we can see that are closed. And then now it's like, let's see how many businesses are still open. So like, dude, like I see whole blocks of businesses that are just closed. Like all these small businesses are just gone. Like they've been eaten up by everything around them, basically, either by different rules set by the state, which these rules had to be put there, but like they were kind of eaten up by the Goliaths, the Walmarts and the Targets that could survive that kind of hit to stock market.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's unfortunate, right? But like if you are one of these small businesses, then like it just sucks. You have like there's very little options. I mean,
and some of them
you can like pay for them.
And some of them probably deserve to go under. Like there was some like I mean, if you're driving around here, we saw so many weird niche stores that I'm like that's like they're laundering money, clearly. I'm like, there's no way that store's real. I was like, there's no way. But like,
I don't know like how often like it's like laundering and stuff like that. But at least like for me, when I look at a lot of like small businesses, I don't have like a super big attachment to small businesses. I'm not saying that like Amazon needs to buy every single building in like the goddamn city, but yeah, it just seems like I don't really have like this like huge love relationship for small businesses. Like they're cool, but it does seem like they don't really offer quite as many benefits as some of the larger businesses can take care of.
Uh, you don't have to go deep into this like at all, but
Hmm.
do you think the media is downplaying inflation? Because I see shit like this all the time. Like, oh wait, let me see if it's the right one. Maybe it's this one. Oh, here we go. I see shit like this all the time.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, what the fuck,
I
man?
mean,
Like,
listen, I haven't been like that far. I haven't been like doing that much economy stuff lately, so I don't have like a super bought out position on economy. But I will say that like overwhelmingly, as someone who did do like economics in college and whatnot, it is a little frustrating to see like that everyone's entitled to their position on the economy, and then they just give these like absolute like grade level like surface takes about how the economy functions, and like man, there's like a reason why there's it's like a common saying, right? If you ask like 10 different economists, you'll get 11 different answers, right? Like the economy is pretty complicated. So it's
yeah, it's
kind of
insanely
amusing that like
complicated.
random people on Twitter are giving like their like amazing takes on like how the economy is going to operate. It's rough.
It's really rough, man. And then like I well, I think there's a lot of the at least okay, so from the silver and gold aspect, like
Hmm.
that community, when I think when we look at it, we just see so many different things where they're like you'll hear Jerome Powell and he's like, "Oh, well, inflation's not that high if you don't count food or energy." And you're like, "What?" That's the things you use every fucking day. So like, how could you say it's not high if you don't
Yeah.
count like the basic shit that you use every single day? And then it just gets you could go down many rabbit holes that if like how they change the calculations like basically how they used to calculate it back during Paul Volcker's time in the Fed. If we use that same exact calculation where they actually added like different things, like pretty much had almost everything in it, and a better version of owner's equivalent rent because that's super garbage. But like we should be around like 15-16% inflation right now, and I think if I mean, honestly, when I look around, I'm like, all right, that seems high, Like I'm like that seems pretty high. But when I look around and I go to the store and I try to buy shit, I'm like, maybe it's not. Maybe that is 15 or 60% because I feel like I'm paying that right now.
Yeah, I think like in general, like inflation is like this really scary term that like I don't uh it's like it's okay to have some levels of healthy inflation, right? And it will like go up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It just feels like for a lot of people, they think of like, oh my god, like 10% inflation. Oh my god, now gas is gonna be like $50. Like they have like a very it's like a scary buzzword, right? It's kind of one of those things
it
that like
is. It
nobody
is.
likes inflation, but they don't really know why they don't like it. It's just everyone kind of says you're not supposed to like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, at least from my crazy community and stuff, which I agree with. So I'm crazy too. So, but like I don't even think they need to ever raise taxes because inflation is tax to some extent. Like we're paying more. So, and I think Peter Schiff, he's only gold. He doesn't care about crypto like anything else and stuff. But like just gold guy. But he's like, oh, we're all gonna be millionaires in the future after we turn into Venezuela.
I don't
You
think
know?
that's I don't think that's a good kind of millionaire.
No, that's definitely not. All right. Do you want to talk about the World Economic Forum, or do you want to get to the last?
Hey, we can talk about it. I don't really have that much to say about it, to be perfectly honest. That's I need another 4-hour research stream on that if we want to go into it.
I guess what we could, because we could go down way too many rabbit holes with that. But
Sure.
watch just watch the South Park post-COVID special. That pretty much sums up, I think,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen with
I'll take a look. We'll see.
it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. What about the green tech wave? What do you think about
I
green energy, all that like
Oh,
bullshit? Like,
yeah, man, green energy is like really it's such a like tough concept in general. And then like the broader concept of climate change is like
yep.
a very tough. I mean,
Are you
it's
for or
it's
against
like
it?
yeah, okay. So, oh man, okay. personally, I think green energy is kind of a must. It was probably
Yeah.
a must like 20 years ago, honestly, and so we're already coming into it super, super late. One of the biggest problems when we talk about green energy is that um, I think the U.S. needs to limit its emissions a lot, but then when we also look at like a global society, we have these countries in the global south like China and India, which are producing,
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of emissions, right?
Mhm.
However, it's not really fair for us to sit here after profiting off all these like dirty coal and whatnot, and then just start like yelling at every other country that's still like developing that like, hey, you need to bring your emissions down too, and we haven't really taken the steps necessary. Um, so if I had the solution to green energy, I wouldn't be on Twitch. I'd be working like for the green tech wave or whatever. But I think that like taking steps towards like solar and also I heard that nuclear is
Ah.
actually a really good energy. I
Yes.
think a lot of
Yes, it
people don't
is.
like it because they
Yeah.
think of like fucking Iron Man and they think
Yeah.
that like, oh, you're gonna like blow up and have Chernobyl outside your house. I don't think it's like that. I think like, yeah, taking those steps and trying to be like more efficient is definitely like the way forward. It's just like I don't have like a good answer on how we on a global scale get people to
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
mean, that is just such a broad question. I think
But you
the
like
biggest thing,
it. You like
yeah, I'm a fan.
it.
I think okay, like I think it's like it's one of those things where like it doesn't really matter if I like it or not. We kind of have to, or else like we're actually just
Yeah.
gonna like destroy the planet over time. Um, I don't try to
From
be like a climate change like doomsayer where I'm like, oh, in 10 years we're gonna be covered in water with yeah. I'm not like that. I don't think it's like quite as bad as people are making it out to be. I just really want to like get people thinking towards that. Like how can we like move towards a cleaner source of fuel and not just like destroy the ozone layer?
Well, if you want an awesome investing play, like I said before, silver and uranium stocks. I mean, China's building 150 SMRs, small modular reactors. So like
Mhm.
they're like the gold, like the new gold standard, like the brand new ones and stuff. And they're the ones like that Yang was talking about, Andrew Yang. And but these are awesome. But they're building 150 next year because their energy needs are crazy. Like everyone in Europe right now, like everything's going out. Natural gas
Yeah.
prices are going up all crazy and stuff. They can't keep any lights on because they don't have enough to meet the demand. And I mean, we see it here in California. Like we have rolling blackouts constantly. Like I live
Had this moment of like,
so we have a private electric. That thing goes out constantly. When it's summertime, everyone has their AC on and like one light. The power is gonna go out for 4 hours and stuff. And
yeah, I think like one of the really cool things about like at least like the United States, but we see this across the country as a whole. I mean, when you have a lot of people who are really motivated towards a solution, maybe not a specific solution, but like a general direction, like it's
Mhm.
actually really cool what kind of progress you can make, right? We saw this in the space race, like we put a fucking man on the moon. That's insane, all right? Like if we were to have that level of like funding and general support for, I think that like getting green energy wouldn't be like as foreign as it feels now, or like such a weird concept. It just feels like a lot of people just don't really care because it's one of those things where like the impacts just you don't really feel it on a personal level. No one really goes outside is like, oh damn, it's a little hotter today. What? That's crazy. Like nobody really cares. So especially not in developing countries. I mean, they could care less, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. Well, they're just trying to survive and shit.
yeah. So I think just like again, I think just showing people like, hey, it's like pretty cool thing. It's really useful, and we kind of need to do it. Get that support behind it.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we'll see some better solutions. Right now, I don't have like that direct solution.
No,
I,
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
I don't
no.
think anyone. Yeah, I
No
don't
one,
think
no one
anyone
has
has.
that.
A lot of people claim they're like, oh yeah, just solar panel on the house, we're good to go. It's like, dude, come on. Like, do you think anyone's actually gonna do that? Like, geez.
Shit, I hope I can. When I finally get a house someday or a cardboard box, I'm gonna put some Tesla solar roofs on there and shit.
Yeah, yeah, and again, it's like a really cool thing. But like, if you, I think I've like seen the numbers, but like, if you get like your house, if you replace it to like solar energy, um, I think it takes 10 years to pay back, and then if you account for inflation, it may never pay back in your lifetime. Which is like, dude, come on, that's like really difficult to get somebody on board when they
It's
don't
a
have that
hard sell.
incentive.
It's a hard
Yeah,
sell.
I mean, it's a really hard sell.
Well, and the amount. So the the metals that go into that, not
Mhm.
just silver, but nickel and copper, all that shit is running out really fast. So there's kind of the expectation date. If we go off of current trends, even if we this year's been massive for silver sales and like metal in general, but if we just go off current trends, we're gonna be like out of, of most of these metals by 2024, and at least then there's going to be bidding wars. They're like, we're not going to run out completely because we're always mining it and stuff, but a lot of the large mining companies, they're gonna start running dry on their big deposits. And for copper, that's a huge issue. For silver, it's definitely becoming an issue with the silver squeeze going on right now, and everyone in Wall Street silver, like, we're all buying up every every like time we have like $10, we're throwing it towards silver. And yeah, it's that's going to be another problem that no one's going to look at until until it's basically happening. And right now, I think I can't remember the number, but the com do you know what the COMEX is? The
I'm not 100% sure. Sounds familiar, but if you could give me a quick summary.
basically they're the commodity exchange like group here in the US and stuff. So
Mhm.
they have like warehouses full of different commodities and stuff. And right now they have the amount of silver that they have like vaulted, so people can buy. Technically, people can go in and companies can go in and buy it directly from them. And the amount of silver that they have in there right now, Elon could buy with like 7% of his net worth. So
Yes.
like, if if there's ever crunch time where any of these huge companies like are like, oh, we should probably plan more than like 2 weeks ahead, the price on that's gonna skyrocket. So like, maybe when you get a chance, maybe I'll throw you a dono so you can get your first ounce of uh of some silver and stuff. See what's
Yeah,
going
I
on with
think mail me a silver bar. I'll hang it up on the back. Dude. I can just wait, watch that thing go up in price in real time.
that. So it should be pretty cool. It should be pretty cool. We kind of already talked about cryptos and stuff. Do you want to talk any more about crypto? Do you care?
I mean, honestly, I don't know like that much about it. At the end of the day, I don't think about it as like, to me it's no different than a stock. I don't really put that much value in it. Yeah.
No, that's totally fair, man. It's the Wild West.
Mhm.
It's crazy volatile, and it's insane. Makes millionaires and makes bankruptcies at the same time. So it's pretty cool. Um, anything else? Where can the people find you? What do you want to say? Closing out.
Yeah, I guess I will just plug myself and all my channels again. I'm Double Shine. I do streaming and YouTube videos, general content creator, doing politics, drama,
Hmm.
gaming with a focus on economics, philosophy, and culture wars. So if you like that, if you want to find me in the mornings, check me out. I'm twitch.tv/double_shine. Um, on YouTube, I'm just Double Shine, and on Twitter, Double Shine TV.
We'll put it up
So that's where
there.
you can find me. Again,
Woo!
I do a lot of like different content and stuff like that. Ultimately, my goal is just put a smile on your face, give you a happy time, put on a good stream, put on some good content. And when I say politics, I try to cover the fun part about politics because I think like one of the biggest things is like people get kind of crazy with the details and stuff like that, and I think a lot of it is kind of lost in translation. That's not what I'm here for. I think that whenever I talk about these kind of serious topics, I always um, I try to look for truth. I think that's the most
Mm.
important thing. And if we can get more people to seek truth, not just I'm right versus you're right, I think in general, we'll have a much healthier society with much healthier conversations.
Awesome, man. Well, I love you. Thank you for putting up with my nonsense and
No, I
spamming
love it, man.
nonstop. Like
Great.
hitting you up on 10 different platforms with the same link and stuff. And yeah, I love what you do. Whenever you put out stuff, tag me in it and I'll retweet it right off the bat. If I don't see you do the tweet, because I have like 1,000, well, thousands probably now of like people I'm following on Twitter. But Double Shine, amazing. Get on it. This is Dumb Money Media, Shiller'z Corner. I'm the king of money. We're all gonna be dead because of inflation.
If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe below. Donate to the King of Money. Show your dedication, and he will shower your body with all his glory and light. His blessings are priceless. Don't you dare squander them.